Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Hi, Tanks and Updates. Am I duplicating myself is what I need to know. Okay, guys, so sorry. Let's give this yet another try. Happy Wine Wednesday. Let me know if there are more audio issues. I have Miss Lucy with me. Lucy, say hello.
Hello.
Hello, can everybody hear Lucy? Anyhow, Lucy and I are both sick, so we'll probably delete the last two tries at this stream. But I thought since we're both feeling under the weather, we could discuss how much it sucks to be under the weather and what you do when you've got tanks of seahorses that need you. So, hello Beth. Hello the Salty Reef. Hello Tanks and Updates. Please feel free to join us. Oh, I've got to get that link going. So Lucy, while I get the link going, the new link, what do you do when you cannot get out of bed because you're sick? How do you take care of your tanks?
What I do is basically I shut off all the lights. I close the windows, the shutters, if you have shutters. So the seahorses stay in the dark, and so they are less hungry, they don't move, they just sleep, and they will stress less. They will just continue to have a long, long night.
So you just kind of...
I think it's the best. It's the best option if you just can't do anything to keep them in the dark. But it's only if you have no other solution.
Right. My solution comes in young children and significant others. Yes, I put them all to work. You better believe it. But I'm curious, you guys. What do you guys do? Anybody in the audience? What do you do when you're sick? And are you guys sick? Is this like a worldwide phenomenon? Or are Lucy and I just really unfortunate in this time? Because...
keep them in the dark.
So you keep them in the dark.
Only if you have no other solution.
Right. My solution comes in... All right, now I gotta mute young this. Children. Sorry. And... Hang on one second, significant others. Mute... And let me put this link up just in case anybody did want to join. We're going to make a quick one of this one tonight since nobody feels well. Excuse me. But if anybody did want to join, I wanted to give them the option. If anybody's having an issue with seahorses or reef tank, want to give us an update, I wanted to give you a chance. Lucy, what's been going on with you lately? What's going on with the seahorses? I saw you posted that they're doing really well. Anything new with you?
Yeah, they're still doing very well. They are eating more and more and more, and now they cost me a fortune in maize.
Oh, I bet. So how many times are you feeding them a day now at this point? And how old are they?
I try to keep up to 7 times a day.
Wow.
The minimum I do is 4 times, but only if I have to leave because I have some problem with my future house, so I have to move 2 hours and a half away from home. So sometimes I have to feed them less.
7 times a day is crazy. How old are they now?
They are 5 months and 2 days now.
Okay, well, really fast, I'm going to put this link up. Hi, Aqua Funk Aquatics and Beth and everybody joining. We're all sick here, so we're just kind of chit-chatting tonight. If you want to come on in and tell us how your reef or your seahorse tank is doing, if you want to chat, please feel free to join. Because if not, this is going to be a quickie because we're all kind of under the weather. But I should feel better in 45 minutes. Oh, Beth, I missed I'll have to go back and look at what you advised about I saw something about a tablespoon of something. Apple cider vinegar, honey, and warm water. See, I've come up with different things. I've taken cold medicines and I've taken flu medicines and I felt better for a minute. And I probably, you're right, should have done that before Wine Wednesday. But it's like it's been this ongoing thing for like 2 weeks. Where last week I just didn't feel great, but I was still able to pull it off. And then this week, like there have been days where I just could not get out of bed and had to like be like, kids, go feed the seahorses. God help me, that kind of thing. So, just curious what you guys do. Lucy said she'd vomit with that particular concoction. And what's the weather like in your area? And what do you do when you're sick and your tanks need your hand up in there fixing things or feeding? I'm curious. And Lucy was telling us about how her seahorses are doing at 5 months. So why are you still feeding them so much, Lucy? Are you just wanting to keep them really healthy or what? Because at 5 months, that's a lot. I mean, tell me what you're doing.
I just don't want them to have the best care possible that I'm able to give them. So I want them to be in very good water quality. I want them to be fed very well with quality food. That's it.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. As far as I'm concerned, with seahorses especially, the more you feed them, if they eat it and they're healthy and they're doing well, the more that they eat, the better they are. You know, I don't disagree in any way, shape, or form. But as a breeder especially, you have to make sure that they stay healthy and they stay good until they get to the end consumer. So, and we're working on that part too. So, Lucy, have you what's the progress with your? Are you selling the seahorses yet, or we still working on it?
I'm still waiting for my permits.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really able to call them to see if there is any update about this. I wanted to do it, but I haven't done it yet.
Well, I thought maybe we would say for the record that Lucy has worked her butt off on these seahorses and making sure that they are healthy and strong, and they were all started with her captive bred specimens. We don't do anything other than captive bred specimens on this, as far as sales go. So I thought I'd point that out. And let's see, 80 and Sunny Aqua Funk. If I wasn't such a nice person, I'd raise a finger. Just kidding. But let's see what else. Hi Chimp the Reefer. I think I put the link up. Feel free to join if you want to chat. If not, we're literally, I mean, you can see I didn't even do the makeup, guys. I'm really not feeling well. So, and Lucy, you told us earlier, for me, I use my sibling, my children, my significant other, and things like that. But then what I do is I sit in my bed and I worry. I don't feel good. I can't get up, but I'm worried whether or not people are doing things correctly. So it's a mess.
But at least you can. I have 3-year-old kids, so I can ask them to do that for me.
And I can't even imagine. And I wasn't saying that there was anything wrong with that. That's actually a really good suggestion, is if you don't have any other options, a 1 to, a lights out, minimize the stress is actually a really good suggestion. I think that's a pretty good suggestion. So, hey. And hello, Trident Aquatics. Wow, we have a bunch of new names in here today. Lisa. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Again, guys, I'm so sorry I haven't seen anything that's going on with you guys. As you can see, like, I literally went live just to prove I'm not doing so great. But I did want to get on here and see how everybody's doing. I saw somebody say something that they used to keep salt water. Let's look here real quick. I think it was Beth. And Beth, I think I wanted to talk to you anyways. Beth hasn't had the flu in 43 years. Beth, we need to be better friends. That's all I'm going to say. We need to be better friends. And Lisa, Lisa, you're saying use flake food when you're sick to feed your fish and tanks? Yeah, I mean, that works. Actually, I'd love to do some more talking on a different subject about flake foods because, well, I'm rambling, but I actually was going through some of my supplies last week or the week before, and I found a bunch of flake foods from Angels Plus, I think it was, and they make some really great flake foods these days. So I can hear ya. I'm with ya. And Lucy, feel free to go and come right back if I'm not still here. It's it's one of them nights. But excuse me. Aquafunk said hello. DM's Reef, you're done moving. Woo! Yay! Are you all set up? Are you all situated? Get in here and tell me about it. Really, feel free. This is a free-for-all, so feel free to come in and tell me how you're doing and what you're doing. I'm so glad to hear that you're done moving. Yay. Thank you for letting us know. That's awesome. And let's see. Chimp, nothing's up. We're all sick. So we came because we show up. And that's my number one rule. Even when I'm like, I just don't want to do this tonight, I'm still showing up because I figure if anyone had a seahorse issue or, wanted to talk about the reef tank or had something that they had really needed to share, I want to be here on Wednesdays, no matter what, for you guys to do this. So, we have big plans for guests and better streams, but tonight I'm just showing up. And I just saw a comment. I'm not personally having the question that just happened, but I've got the head cold, and if you can't hear it in the voice, I just feel terrible. But either way, I'm here for you is the point, because that's what this is about. We started off wanting to have a day when people could come and show what's going on with them and say, here's my problem, or here's what I'm being successful with, or here's my question, and share it. And so I'm going to show up. And if you have a question, comment, or want to share, here I am. So come on in. But otherwise, I just showed up. And we will get to better stuff in future weeks. And Lisa, I'd love to know what's going on with you, because again, I'm literally gonna have to, like, what do they call it when you have to watch an entire season of shows in one night? I'm gonna have to, like, binge Netflix, the YouTube, my favorites, just to catch up on all you guys and what you're doing. Hi, Cruz. Hey, I sent you a message. Check it, because I have some big things coming up, just not tonight. And Trident. All I see is an amen, but hello. If anybody wants to talk or join, feel free. And Beth, you used to have both the large seahorses and that you fed newborn mollies and brine shrimp and dwarf seahorses. I would love to hear more about your experiences. I think that I really, the name looks really familiar. I think if I'm not mistaken, there was a Beth that was extremely prominent in seahorses in the past, and I'm just kind of wondering if that's you. But either way, I'm sure you did a great job either way. You Trident, you appreciate me showing up looking like and talking trash. It's great. I'm so glad you appreciate it. Me too. All right. Anyhow. All right. Alex G is here. Hello, hello, Alex G. Another one that I've got to get back in here to show us more microscope cool stuff. Again, guys, apologies that I don't know what's going on with your channels. I'm proving right now that I'm sick. And it's been like this. So, hey. Again, I'm just saying it again. If you want to come in and share, come in and share. Or give me something to talk about. Hello, Davis Ju1. See, like, all y'all are commenting, but I need a topic. Lucy, what shall we talk about? Lucy's gone, isn't she? Oh, God, Lucy's gone. All right, well, let's see. Let's just see. I'm looking at my seahorses, all sitting at the glass saying, where's my food and what are you doing, lady? So, and Lucy says, I have some seahorses that eat molly fry too. Hi, Davis. All right. So anyways, guys, again, free for all tonight. Just seeing what everybody's up to, seeing what's going on with all of you, seeing how you're doing. Curious about the weather. I'm very curious about how the weather is in your area and how it affects your aquariums. Because actually that's a really good topic, because not only do I get sick, and I mean, Lucy has pointed out that the flu's a virus and has nothing to do with the weather and all the, old wives' tales about, wet hair outside, that, some of it's, well, we're not going to touch that. You can believe what you want to believe. But the bottom line is, during this time of year, I just always get sick. I don't know if it's like the furnace filters, the heaters, what, but I always get sick this time of year. And so I have to depend on my significant other and my children to help with the tanks, and then I lay in bed and worry about them. But I'm curious if anyone has, and Beth gave a great solution with vinegar and honey. I'm curious if this stuff affects you guys. Like, obviously everyone gets sick. What do you guys do when you're sick and your tanks need to be taken care of anyways? And Alex G is nuking Aptasia tonight. Get in here and show us. Come on in. If nobody comes in, guys, I'm going to cut it short because, it is what it is. But, and Beth said, I live on the Straits of Juan. And, oh, my goodness. Okay, you're not the same Beth I was thinking of. But I would still love to talk to you more. That's very cool. And I can't follow all the comments, guys. I'm sorry. But bottom line is, I'm sick. I'm still here. If you want to talk, come on in. And I'm curious what you guys do when you're sick, how you take care of your tanks. And poor Lucy is in a situation where she can't rely on anybody. So she's, I don't know, is anybody else into the Game of Thrones? This is going to sound really silly, but Lucy's entire description of turning the lights off and de-stressing and letting them just chill while she's sick reminded me of Winter is Coming. And the long winter night and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm a little loopy. It's not the wine, it's the cold. But Alex, hop in. Come give us something to talk about, man. I'm dying here, really. And if you need a link, let me know. But I did put it up earlier. I can try to put it up again. There you go, if you want to hop in and chit chat for a minute. And this is how it's done, guys. So like I said, I just show up on Wednesdays. If I don't have a guest or I'm too sick to entertain a guest, I show up. If you have something you want to talk about, here I am. I'll answer your questions about seahorses. I typically have other experts with me that'll answer your questions about seahorses. And even when we're sick, we show up. That's dedication, man. Come on. And Beth, I love that you just said that your body pH changes just like the fish water does. You're going to love my upcoming video. I make a direct comparison to the human body and an aquarium in my video. So, shh, don't say any more because the video's coming. Alex G, are we in with you? Let me get you up on the screen. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up? What you doing?
No, just trying to. I haven't been in a while, and I was like, well, we'll come in and get some aptasia taken care of. I've been lazy with it lately.
Well, this is a great topic, actually, for anybody. So I'd love to know, how do you take care of your aptasia? What are you doing?
I just use Aptasia X.
Okay.
I find that it works pretty good. It's not 100% effective, but...
Do you have any tips as you're doing this to show us? Because one of the mistakes, big mistakes that I made is I didn't understand that you had to be sneaky about it. That you had to trick the aptasia into eating it. Because if you freak it out, it releases spores. So do you have some trick for... just tell me what you're doing, how you do it.
Well, right now it's just I turn the water flow down real low. I killed my rear pump and my gyres, and I turned my primary pump down just a little bit so it's pretty low flow, because I find in the higher flow area, the SPS section, that even though I'll get them, that it just blows off of them. I know I got one I was just trying to get, which it already kind of closed up, but now, just taking the time to really find them too.
Now, with Aptasia X, is that different? I don't think I've used Aptasia X. I think I used Joe's Juice or something, and it did not work out for me personally. But I understand you're saying turn down the flow because you want the juice or whatever it is, or the Aptasia X, to get to the anemone. You don't want it to get, because it can bother coral, right?
Yeah, and that's the only other thing I try to do is just make sure that it's not, if it does get blown off a little bit, that it's not falling into something else. So
right. And so do you feed the Aptasia? Because I know, like I said, Aptasia X might be different, but with the one that I tried, I did it wrong, and I tried to kind of just squirt it and kill it and whatever, and then all that did was make it spread. So do you feed this to the anemone, or do you just squirt it? How do you do it?
Yeah, I generally try to gently push it onto them. If they do make a big reaction and kind of shoot water, sometimes they'll kind of blow it off themselves.
Okay.
So it's just kind of taking your time with it. Oh, I see one in the back here. They're sneaky little buggers.
Yeah, please show us how, because that's what I was saying is for anybody with seahorses, you have to be extremely careful, because if you piss them off, they just release a bunch of spores and you get even more. So I'm curious to see how he does this. This will be interesting.
All right, let me get the phone down here. Look at where I'm doing this myself. Hi, little buddy. Hi. Sorry, it's not feeding.
Trident Aquatic said that. Sorry. I'll be quiet while you do this. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say go ahead before I explain this.
You explain and then I'll talk.
Okay. So I don't know how well. I'll try to draw a little circle around it. So you can't see it probably. But if I disturb the cyano, no, you get out of there. So there's a Aptasia that's sitting right in the middle of this.
Okay.
I don't think you guys could see it. So what I do is kind of really slowly ooze it on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. A lot of times, like, there's a little tentacle. I don't try to touch it with the actual tip
Okay.
of the syringe. I just try to make it fall on there. Because if you do touch them with it, they will jump, and then a lot of times they'll kind of spray it off. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not. See, it just moved a little bit. It retracted, but because it's just sitting on there, I'd probably try to let it sit for a half hour or so
Okay. So you let it
before I
sit
turn the flow back on.
No, so you let it sit for half an hour and then just turn the flow back on. That's it.
Yep, and it depending on where they're at in the tank, like sometimes they could be in an area where the flow could be on. They settle in all kinds of weird places. Like
I know.
let's see, I'm trying to see. There's a couple on the. There's at least one on the sand bed here that I just nuked
I can't
a
tell
little
if
while ago.
I was gonna say I can see something. I can't tell if it's like a polyp or an aptation.
Yeah, this little white. Well, it's not in a great spot here, but right in front of the syringe tip, that little white spot's where one was at. I just kind of covered it up.
Okay.
So, and then there's a couple more little white spots you can see down below that acro that also had a couple of aptasia on it. So
You didn't say on the acro, did you?
no, below it.
Okay.
And they're on the. Yeah, you can't really see too well. They're in the rock below it. There were a couple of them.
Well, I do know. I was reading the comments, and Trident Aquatics said that he personally finds Aptasia X to be far superior to Joe's Juice. We lost Lisa, okay. And Lucy uses peppermint shrimp. That's my personal go-to also, but they're not always for sure. Do you use any peppermint shrimp, Alex? Do you have any
No,
peppermint
I've never
shrimp?
really messed around with them.
Okay.
Just because it's not that it happens all the time, but sometimes they can get a taste for other corals.
Right.
And that gets me nervous. Like I'm very sensitive to anything that might pick at my LPS, which is generally what everything will pick at.
No,
So
and I personally...
if it has a risk of that, I avoid them.
I personally have in my own tank with my own eyes seen a peppermint shrimp get into an acan and what was the other thing? There was another coral that it got into. So I hear you. There's a big difference whether you're talking about coral or seahorse tank or whatnot. But this is really interesting. So how long has this tank been up again, Alex?
Oh, let's see. It started in. Hold on, I'm doing the math. In September, it was a year. So for a little over a year and a half or so.
Gotcha. And how, just like in your personal opinion, how do you think that Aptasia got in there?
Oh, I know it came in on a frag.
Okay.
And then I thought I had gotten it, and it didn't, and they just pop up periodically, and then it's actually been a little while. I think I had about 20 or 30 of them going at one point, and I went in and hit them with the Aptasia X, and I got most of them. The ones I don't like, which, let me see if I could tackle this one. So those I think those are gobstoppers right below the Sophastria.
Oh,
You probably can't see it on the camera, but there's one right in the middle of that colony. Those are the ones I get more concerned about trying to deal with, because now I might have to nuke my coral to kill it. So,
Right.
now let's see. We'll see if we can get in there and take care of that one. I think I got enough left in the syringe here.
Yes. How much Aptasia X do you actually put on? Is there a certain amount, or do you just do it?
I just go until I got them covered. If I feel that it might be in a place where the water might flow off, a bunch of it, then I will add a little extra and kind of bury it.
And while you're situating, have you ever had any experiences with corals? Like you're already talking about how you don't want to nuke your coral. Have you had any experiences where using Aptasia X near a coral killed it?
Oh yeah, it'll definitely make it upset at a very least. A good example of this is actually this Calastria right here. There was one right in the middle of it, and it was starting to irritate the polyps, but I didn't really have a choice other than to wait till nightfall and then put it in. And I actually see two right now that are in more difficult spots. So let me put the phone down. So almost dead center. And I'm gonna have to get a little refill of it, but you can see the tentacles sticking out right there. Which that isn't a horrible place because I got my bubble right here.
Oh. Have you noticed that certain coral react worse or better to? Is it the LPS that seem to not like the Aptasia X?
I think it's all coral in general, because, and I don't know exactly everything that's in this. I mean, I've seen some people say it's just calplosser paste. Mm-hmm. But whatever it is, I mean, it's got a pretty strong punch to it, so I usually try to avoid it touching anything at all costs.
Right, gotcha.
Let me grab the bottle here real quick to refill.
Okay. And while he is refilling, just for seahorse keepers, because I always try to look out for you guys. Another option. There are other options. Obviously, quarantine helps. Alex mentioned that he quarantined. He thought he got all the Aptasia out. It just kind of happens. Aptasia is something that you're probably going to deal with in a reef or seahorse tank. They just come. Unless you do a sterile tank with all false, fake ornaments and whatnot. If you have macros, if you have coral, you're probably going to find Aptasia or live rock, any of it. Hey, Dan Underwood, thank you so much for the super chat. Sick and all, and we get a super chat. That is the bomb, baby. Thank you, Nan. So anyways, with a seahorse tank, if you've got all ornaments that aren't real, then you're talking about remove whatever the heck has the Aptasia on it. Just get that out of the tank. Even if it's live rock, you can put different rock in, pre-cycled rock that doesn't have Aptasia. Or you can use different forms of media in the sump or in a different area that wouldn't have the Aptasia. So removing it is a good option. If you can. You can break the rock if you have to. There are side notes to that. Please talk to us before you just do that. There's lots of different ways to get rid of it. And Alex is back, so I'm going to shut up so you can tell us what you're doing. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so I just kind of move the zoanthids around and just let a few of them close up a bit.
So you make them
and then
irritated and close, okay?
Yeah, try not to let them actually eat it.
Right.
I mean, it's not perfect. There was another one that was down here as well that I got a little earlier, but we'll see. I'll try to.
Well, I'm thinking the key
move it away.
Sorry, I'm thinking the key to Aptasia X, which Trident Aquatics mentioned that and we're going to talk about the wand in a moment, that that he likes that much better than Joe's juice. I think the key is making him eat it. I really do. You mentioned not touching the Aptasia, but like kind of feeding it to him, because you're right. If you touch
Yeah,
him,
you
go ahead.
yeah, you definitely want them to ingest it, and then if they're covered in it, if they try to reopen, then
They get it.
they're gonna kind of reopen in a little bath of it.
I've heard of a lot of people using epoxy and different kinds of methods to try to like seal it into the rock. My personal experience with Aptasia is that these things don't die. I mean, they just never die. I mean, unless you can get it to eat something like Aptasia X by being sneaky and tricky enough, as Alex is showing us he is trying to do, or you get the rock that has the Aptasia out, or you remove it in some other way. I mean, they just seem to just come back forever. That's why Lucy mentioned that, her and I particularly like to use peppermint shrimp because they just go around and eat it. But it's a danger to other corals. So there's a, if and or other for everything. So go on, Alex. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go on.
Yeah, no, you're good. The only other thing that I haven't really tried before, and I know they're real popular, is those Bergia nudibranchs. I haven't tried those. I know they eat Aptasia. And then the filefish as well. I've never personally tried one though, and they're another one. I've heard the filefish, they might pick at other things, but I guess it's it's like any kind of living animal that eats things. It might decide that something else tastes good too.
Exactly.
You just never know.
Well, with the Bergia, or however you say it, the correct pronunciation, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I spoke for a long time with the owner of the best company. Can't think of the name, of course, but I'll put it in the description, of the place in the U.S. to get these. And he explained that you have to buy enough, because if you don't have enough for your aquarium, so it really can cost a lot to get a huge colony of these things. And then if they eat all the Aptasia, then they have nothing to eat and they die. Hey, Salty Reef, thank you for the super chat. Mwah. You're awesome. And if you have any comments or thoughts and you just love what we're saying, let us know. Thumbs up, guys. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, with the nudibranchs, or nudibranchs, however you say it, you have to have enough of them. You have to make sure that they continue to have food. And that's a great thing if you're like in a reef club, because then once your tank is cleared, you can give them to somebody else, come back. But I know that the owner of the company, I'm going to look it up once we get to talking here in a minute, because the owner of the company did a really, really great job. It's hard to raise these things because, you have to have enough Aptasia to feed them. And it's a good... It works, but it's a longer process. They don't just attack the things. It takes them a while to find them. Peppermint shrimp, you can get the wrong kind. So, we're open to any alternative. So I love that you're showing us Aptasia X, because I personally have not used it. Trident's Reef mentioned the wand. Have you tried the wand, Alex?
No. Is that the high power laser?
Yes.
Yeah, that I would be just a little nervous of, because a laser that powerful could do some pretty severe eye damage if you're not careful, and I'd hate the fish in the eyes with it, because it might blind them too.
Well, I know that... Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only other thing on the noodle interested on, and it's just because I've never, when I have fish like a Melanaris wrasse,
yeah,
he might eat them. So
right.
I don't know if he would. Nudibranchs don't generally taste good, but some wrasses don't mind that taste. So
actually, very interesting fact. When I spoke to, I'm literally looking for the company that I spoke with, because this guy knows his stuff. He is extremely knowledgeable about Aptasia. It's Reef Town. That's what it is. It's called Reef Town. And if it pulls up on my phone while we're still streaming, I'll let you guys know. If not, I'll put it in the description. But if you have a new tank with Aptasia and you want to try the nudibranchs, however you say it, this site right here is where you want to go. Reef Town. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll put it in the description. This guy will talk you through it and explain it. And an interesting thing that he explained to me when I called him is that if you have peppermint shrimp already in your tank, they'll eat them. So you can't do both. You have to kind of pick away, which is kind of sucks, you know. But so Alex, I didn't mean to distract from what you were showing us. I'm sorry. But so far we have Aptasia X.
That's all right.
We have Aptasia X. We have the nudibranchs. We have peppermint shrimp. We have the wand. So I'm curious to anybody watching, what have you used? What's worked for you long term? And Alex, does this Aptasia X, does it work for you long term?
I think I think it works good. I mean, I would say it's got a pretty, I'd say it's 75% or greater effect on getting them. Just because sometimes they spit it and they just don't get it, especially in the high flow areas. But
right,
I would say it's rather effective. I mean, unfortunately, unless you find something that's just a really good predator of them, it's those little tiny ones that you can't see, and or the ones living in a place where you can't get to them. Like there's one right by that cleaner shrimp there that I can't get because literally I can't see it to get it.
right.
So there's, you get little problems like that. And I got a couple of them that are in really difficult spots sometimes that I haven't gotten easily. And I would say as far as just them being under control, though, it hasn't gotten what I would call out of hand in here.
Right. And
that's all I look at.
A couple of quick comments. Beth mentioned that Worldwide Corals has an extremely is a good resource for this information and has a bunch of YouTube videos. Thumbs up. I love Worldwide Corals. They do an excellent job of covering this material. And the other, I was going to say something else and I totally lost it. It's the fever. We're going to blame the fever tonight. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Alex. In some circumstances, it's about balance and maintaining, and what's really affecting things. Is the Aptasia, gonna spread? Is the Aptasia gonna cause problems, or is it maintainable? Your reef tank is absolutely gorgeous. Your coral is gorgeous. Your fish look healthy.
Thank you.
I mean, you're maintaining it. So, to each their own. And I love that you're coming in here to share that this works for you. How many Aptasia would you say are in the tank right now?
I would say by the time I started doing this tonight, I've got maybe like 20 or 30.
20?
And that seems to be like, I get up to about that level, and then usually I kind of say, all right, time to go in there and nuke the little buggers, because it does take a little time, and I got to shut everything down and pull off my front panels, and I get a little lazy during the week. I don't want to do that stuff.
Right. And what you said to begin with is a good note for anyone new watching, is that quarantining everything and anything you put into your aquarium, or making sure you're buying from a reliable source, is an excellent way to make sure to try to avoid these types of issues. But when they come, and they typically do, figuring out what works for you is the best scenario. Because with seahorse tanks, actually, Lucy, are you still in here? Are you able to speak? Lucy might have left. Okay. Lucy, if you can come back in. Lucy posted pictures of a seahorse with an aptasia literally growing off of the seahorse, which totally freaked me out because with seahorses, they get stung, it turns into a bacterial infection, and it's a huge deal. And so I like avoid aptasia, and literally, as Alex was talking about filefish have been known to eventually get aggressive towards seahorses. And so I literally I had an aquarium where I had literally crate keeping the seahorses separated from the aptasia section of the tank where the filefish was, hoping I mean crazy. And so, you know, it can get crazy. And, you know, so I don't know. I'm curious what Lucy would say about that. But Alex, have you noticed that the aptasia causes any real problem, or do you tend to nuke it before it becomes too big of a problem?
I mean, generally in all the tanks I've had.
Do you have any coral that's like you've lost because of it?
I had actually there. Well, you can't see it now. There's a little frag plug down there, kind of like center screen, and I just nuked the aptasia on there. That was like a little fabia I had, and there was an aptasia that had it already wasn't doing good, and then an aptasia grew on it, and I'm sure that was stinging it a bit. Which fabias can be pretty strong on their own, but it wasn't enough to overpower that little aptasia, I don't think. So.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed too much direct interaction between stuff. They grow around the zoanthids a bit, and I'll notice like where those gobstoppers were, or I can't even think of those ones. But there's too many names of zoanthids.
I know, and they rename them.
The other rainbow ones by the gobstoppers, you could see that they were parting away from where that aptasia was. Mm-hmm. So it depends on the coral too. You know, like the zoanthids, I'll get a little concerned, but not too bad. But like, you know, if I saw an aptasia growing next to the bounce mushroom, I'd probably have a little bit more immediate concern.
Right. And SPS, it'll sting in SPS, correct? I mean, I'm pretty sure I remember that happening in my...
They can. I've had a couple get kind of close, but, you know, generally just, at least for now, the way the SPS are growing out, they've, you know, like this colony here has got such a wide base on it that... I mean, the aptasia would have to literally attach itself to the coral. And I know this one here, I mean, it was killing green hair algae around it as it was starting to base out.
Wow.
So,
that's a strong thing. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool little acro colony, and I just, you know, that one I grew out from a little tiny 1-inch piece, so...
And is this one of the ones that I think we talked on the last episode you came on, where it's so awesome to buy the no-name coral that turns into something awesome and beautiful? Is that one of them?
Yeah, and it's what's really funny about this one too.
If you guys have not seen Alex's aquariums, first of all, I will post a link to Alex G's YouTube channel. His setup is absolutely amazing, and he has come on this show numerous times to show us some really cool stuff. So you should check out the previous versions. Just search, once my website's done, you'll be able to search Alex G and find these videos. But...
let's see. So, let's see. So this coral colony right here is actually, you see it's kind of got like an aqua color to it.
Okay.
In the tips, just a little bit. That was a frag off of this.
No. Wait, show us the first again.
So when I actually bought it, it had that bright aqua color, and it's kind of hard to tell. So You're looking at 3 different corals mashed together. Because they got the purple bonsai that's growing into this other one, and they're kind of... Hold on, let me grab a pointer stick, because I don't want to break branches off, sticking my hands in there.
And whoever's messaging me, I'm trying, but I'm live streaming, you know. Trying to pay attention to the audience also. But, anyhow. And in the comments, we've got a bunch of... You guys, Lucy, you're grounded. You're not in here telling us about the Aptasia, and you're talking French in the comments that I can't read. Uncool. Grounded. Just kidding. But, rip or not sticking any hands in mantis shrimp tanks. No, not today. But go ahead. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, so this is actually a separate coral from this. And then obviously this one's separate too. But this one, the way that the branches are a little kind of aqua. Mm-hmm. Can you see my pointer okay?
Yes,
too?
yes.
So it looked like that little aqua branch there where it had a much more aqua turquoise kind of look. So I put that little tiny branch on here. And it grew into this. So, and I'm guessing part of it's just different lighting. I haven't taken a par measurement to see the difference, but I know the lighting over here is a little weaker than it is in this area.
So lighting. Wow.
I think that's probably part of it. Yeah, it's actually been surrounding this one, and I have fragged a little piece of that one off and put it down here, so it started to base out. So, yeah, some of these acros are doing pretty good, but I got a little PC rainbow there that's doing good, but then I got like that Oregon tort that's just not doing good. So
do you think that that's lighting? Could you move it?
Yeah, I probably should move it. I think that thing's pretty well toast now.
That's a shame. Because one of the cool things that I always enjoyed about my reef tank is moving things to see what colors would come out of them based on what supplements I put in or under what lighting and different. That stuff is amazing and fascinating to me. But and you know what? When it's toast, it's not always toast. I'm gonna vote. We should have a vote, guys. Should he move it? I think he should move it and see if it does better in a different location. I've had corals that I thought were absolutely dead come back brilliantly. So.
Well, I could do it. I got everything out and about right now, so. If you guys want me to move it, we'll grab the tool here and pop it off the rock.
Can I get everybody to please say, move the coral, move the coral? Come on, let's chant. No, this isn't a cult. But anyways, would you guys suggest that he move it to higher light, lower light? What do you think? PC rainbow, right?
No, this one's a little piece of a tort.
Okay, tort's low light.
This little guy that's...
Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's up in the side a little bit, but I could move it to a lower lighting area,
That's
even
what
lower.
I wanted to see.
See what it does.
And then come back and tell us how it does.
Hold on a second. Well, let's move it right now. Let me grab the glue and the chompers.
While he grabs his glue and chompers, because we're going to do this live test and come back in future episodes and see how it's doing, if it does better under lower lighting. And I'm going to have to grab Tulio up in here, get him in here to talk lighting with us. But Lucy, my question was about the seahorse that had the Aptasia on it. Because seahorse folks are so terrified of Aptasia, as am I, and I've gone to great lengths to make sure that Aptasia is not in my tank, and yet you had a seahorse with an Aptasia growing on it. So I was just curious how that, worked out, and what your thoughts on that were and that kind of stuff. But we got a few move-its. Thank you, Salty Reef. So we're going to move the coral to a lower light position and see if that helps the coral. I'm going to bet it does. And he's grabbing tools, so. And Davis Zhu 1, if I'm pronouncing you wrong, I apologize, but has said move it to higher flow. Okay. Hawkfish wants to help, yes. We like it. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. I appreciate you guys hanging with me tonight. I feel so terrible. So, thank you. And thank you again, Dan and Salty, for the super chats. That's awesome. Because I don't feel like I've provided valid information tonight. So, thank you. We showed up though, right?
Let's see if I can angle this with the camera on.
Just really quickly, wait, are you doing it now?
Yep, I already popped it off the rock.
Okay, well then I'm going to be quiet while you do it, and then I'll answer the questions about the Aptasia.
Alright, I think we're going to go to a...
You guys direct him.
Area. Let's see.
Now with torts, I'm trying to think of my own. They always did better, kind of, like they got a little bit of light, but almost shadowed. Like, yeah, shadowed light.
I got just the place for it.
Alright.
Which Thunder's attacking me. Alright, we'll stick it here. This is a fairly low light area. Alright.
And if you guys think this is cool, right, this is what this is about. You got a problem with your seahorses, you want to show your reef tank, you jump in, and we show it. This is what this is about. Wine Wednesday. Come back. All right.
All right. So it's now next to the Echinata over there in a little lower light. So
all right. Okay.
We'll see what it's doing. I don't have high hopes for it, but I would love to be proved wrong with that.
Now let's all cross our fingers. And now I'm going to have to call Tulio and be like, get up in here and tell us what we need to do as far as lighting. Or Cruz. And, please
I'm probably
keep
gonna
us
get to see Mr. Probably going to see Mr. Cruz this weekend. So.
Are you going? I'm so jealous. You're going to?
Yeah, it's only a few miles from my house. So.
And it's Aqua Shella? No, this is Reef Palooza, right?
No, this is the Midwest Aquatic Convention.
Wait, the Midwest Aquatic
Sunday.
Convention is Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Unless something got changed.
No, you're probably right.
So.
I suck. I completely suck. The Midwest Aquatic Convention is a convention that I try to make every single year. And I've been so under the weather that I didn't even know it was coming and I missed it. So that sucks. Now I'm going to go cry myself to sleep, seriously. But take lots of pictures for me and video everything, please.
Yeah, I'll see if I can. I'll try to make a lap through and see how it goes. So probably try to hang out there for a good chunk of the day and just talk and stuff with folks.
It's Sunday.
Yep. I think it's 11 to 5 or something.
I might just show up. Chicago's not far from me. I might just show up. You might just meet me. Unless I'm still sick. Then you won't meet me. But anyways, okay. All right, so let's take some votes, guys. Do we think that the The coral's going to do better in a more shaded area. Alex is going to come back and tell us very soon. What else is going on with your system and your aquariums, Alex? What's new? Anything new?
Oh, not a lot in the way of new corals. I mean, I got my new bubble coral there. I can't remember if you've seen that or not.
I think so, but it's beautiful. Can we get a close up of it? Sorry.
Yeah, this is that's as close as you can get from the front, so it's about 3 feet away.
Okay. See, that's what happens when you have a big tank. But it's awesome.
I got all these long spine cardinals. I got a dozen of them. Mm-hmm. So they're the newest additions to the tank. So I got them because they like to school together, which, what the heck are you doing over there, buddy?
All your fish are like,
Taking
it's
up.
my turn.
Yeah, it's feeding time, so they're probably like, why aren't you feeding us?
Go feed those fish. We'll watch. We'd love to watch.
Yeah, let me, I think it's been we've got a little bit of time here that the Aptasia X has been sitting on everything, so.
And that's another good point.
A couple of things up.
So do you have a particular amount of time that you let it sit there before you turn your power heads back on and such?
I mean, I try to like give it about 30 minutes or so if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I try to do. Let me see. We're not out and about yet. Sorry, just looking to see if the mantis is out.
The mantis. Beth, if I take the vinegar, honey, and warm water, are you going to meet me there on Sunday? Oh, wait, you're way far away, aren't you? Listen to me. Get your butt here. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. So, I think what I'll do for water flow, I'm not going to turn. So, just for water flow back here, this is a newer pump. This is a 4,100 gallons per hour going from back to front, just right here. And then the 2 gyres.
Does anybody not get jealous watching this stuff? I mean, my systems look like a farm. And I would kill for his basement. Alex G has the bomb basement, is all I've got to say.
That's the bubble.
It's beautiful.
Does not quite fit into the shot here. What?
That's how big it is. It's amazing.
I'd say it's about it's a little over a basketball size.
Wow. Yeah, you guys gotta understand. He has huge. This tank is immensely like, whoa. So what you see and it looks like this is really like this.
There. Let me turn my water flow back on. Yeah, this is. There's the displays, and then skimmer, calcium reactor, refuge, heat exchanging tank, and then return pump. And then return up and over and down and down. All right, well, let's get some food going.
I'm thinking, Alex,
Sure everybody's hungry.
As you get ready to feed, I'm thinking that if I ever set up this aquarium that I've been trying to set up forever, I'm thinking I need to just like, you know, fly you in, or drive you in and have you come and do it with me. How cool would that be? If I had some of you big time guys come in and help me set up an aquarium like this with all the fancy shenanigans and, you know, whoo. I'm thinking it would work. Would you come?
Well, I'd always be up for a road trip, depending on how far it is and schedules.
I'm in Indiana,
But
but I'd schedule around you.
all right.
Okay, let's feed.
All right. Well, I got to get food first.
Okay, well, while I'll fly you in, Rip. Oh, you know I want to do that. What I was gonna say is,
Hold on a second.
yes, I thought you were already on hold. I'm sorry, Alex. What I was gonna say.
No, sorry. I walked away and I heard someone hit the screen top, so I was making sure nobody's on the floor.
Gotcha.
One rest, two rest, three rest, four. Okay, we're good.
What I was saying earlier, Lucy, just to make clear, I do want to continually make this clear on this stream, is that Lucy breeds captive bred seahorses in her own facility, and she does an excellent job, but she also does work with scientists and researchers to conduct experiments to learn more about seahorses in the wild. So when I say something about, like an aptasia on a seahorse or whatnot, and she mentions that it was a wild seahorse, she's working with scientists. She's working with people, and the seahorses are released. So just to be clear on that, it's a separate thing. So, but I just wanted to hear her experience because seahorse people are completely freaked out by aptasia because if it stings, causes bacterial infection, big deal, yucky, no good. And I've literally got video footage of my seahorse being stung in the face by an aptasia and flipping out. She didn't die. I was able to, help her out and everything worked out, but I had to get rid of the aptasia. So with seahorse tanks, it's a little more difficult. But now Alex is doing some cool stuff, so let's pay attention to what he's doing. Sorry. Alex, what do we have in the 3 containers?
Oh, we got a smorgasbord of stuff. I got some LRS herbivore feast and some rods original, and then I have some leftover clams from yesterday. They were fresh shucked, and then they didn't want to eat all of it, so I didn't want to just leave it there. So with my feeding routine generally, everything going here with some water. The clam I'm just going to leave for and
Kevin, thank you for subscribing. I'm sick tonight, but we do cool stuff. This is cool. We do cool stuff. Go on, Alex. Sorry.
Sorry, I had to grab a sheet of nori out here.
No, you're fine. Look at all this. Look at the extent this man goes to. This is amazing. And Lucy, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Get your butt in here and say it right. But no, I was just trying to differentiate between the difference between your captive bred breeding tanks and your work with scientists. Because I was asking you earlier about the aptasia on the seahorse and that subject. And it just got conflicted, so I was trying to clarify. If I made a mistake, please come in here and correct me. And I'm curious, you say you've never had aptasia or bristleworms in your seahorse tanks. I'd love to know how you pulled that off. Because every time with macroalgae, that's why we're trying to start this store to provide clean macroalgae, because every time I've bought macroalgae, it brings something in. Every time. So look for the clean store in the future, folks, but interrupt me anytime, Alex, that you're doing something.
All right, I think what'll probably work out best here is I will feed the reef tank here first, and then when it comes to the big tank, because I can't juggle 2 pairs of tongs and a phone really well.
Sure.
I'll set the camera up so you guys could see the big tank eating.
Cool. Sounds good.
Let me go ahead and get this going. I don't shut pumps off when I feed. Like, I just let it go full bore.
Okay. Rip.
Oh, good.
Bristleworms.
I'm happy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm happy to see these cardinals all taking food. They're still pretty new to the tank. They haven't really left this side much.
Looks like they've made their home though, and they're doing well, which is amazing. I'm sorry. I'm trying to answer the questions and talk to you, but Lucy's covering the questions very, very well. But Rip, yes, bristleworms can harm seahorses. Aptasia can harm seahorses. Everything can harm seahorses. The bottom line is do your best to keep them out by quarantining. And Lucy's covering how you can deal with it once they're there, if they're there. And, you know, the bottom line is that these things, you know, a lot of people will say they're not a problem because it's not a problem yet. So the best bet is to be as careful as you can to start off and be as proactive as you can to start off. And then, you know, take the advice of people who have been doing this for a while as far as maintaining and, you know, eliminating the issue. Because, yes, they can. And with seahorses, it might not seem like a big deal. Like, my seahorse got stung in the face with an aptasia, and it freaked out, but then it seemed fine. Well, then it got a bacterial infection because of a little sore. I mean, it progresses. So the best thing is try to do the best you can from the start, and then aim for great advice here on how to deal with it once it's a problem. All right, Alex, I'm sorry for distracting. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I think you guys got a pretty good view now.
I can see a beautiful tank.
Yep. Well, all right. Well, I'll be feeding kind of in this area, and we'll see if the big guys come up and eat. And then, well, you guys will see what's happening. So let me mute this, and should start feeding in a minute.
Okay. And I'm curious to anyone watching. I know I would buy captive bred peppermint shrimp that I knew were guaranteed to eat aptasia. Would you guys not be interested in captive bred, for sure, aptasia eating peppermint shrimp? Come on now. Lucy, I'm thinking that's going to have to be the top seller on the SWS. That's what I'm thinking. We just got to get shipping under control. Shipping's a mess, but we won't get into that tonight. All right. Kevin, you really want a seahorse tank? What's stopping you? They're not difficult. Just start it up right, and, you know, we'll help you along the way. The website, by the way, guys, will be done very soon. I'm a perfectionist, so I try too hard, and then, you know, I take too long, but it will be done soon. So there will be lots of articles, videos, follows, and then, you know, sales for you to make sure that you get the best quality. And for coral, of course, there's worldwide coral, yes. Trident, you know the shipping, right? All I had to do was say the word. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous these days. And I'm not trying to distract from the beautiful fish eating. Let's watch that too. But, yeah. Living Garage. I'm curious, to those who are talking about wanting to start up their seahorse tanks, what is your fear? Or what would you like to learn most about? Once I put up the guides, I would love your feedback on what else you want to know. But yeah, let's pay attention to the gorgeous fish. And in the meantime, until I get the site going, there's excellent resources like seahorsesource.com and seahorsesavvy.com. Both excellent captive bred breeders who will sell you seahorses that are bred in captivity. Uh-oh, we lost Alex. No, there we go. Okay. Just one NEM from South Carolina. Wait, one NEM to South Carolina from Chicago, $110. I believe it. I don't doubt it. Tried it. I don't know what the answer is. I really wish some genius person. Oh, wait. Here we go with food. Let me be quiet for a minute. Let's be in awe of the beautiful feeding. So cool. Alex is my hero. And Lucy made a great point. Shipping is ridiculous unless you're big. And that is sadly the truth. Is the Amazons and such are taking over, and the little guys pay the price. It's unfortunate, and I'm not sure what the answer is. I really believe in my heart that some genius is going to come up, rise above, and be a resource for shipping that will make it competitive again. Because that's what they need. They need competition. There's no competition right now. They can do whatever they want. They can charge what they want. So we need somebody to rise up and make it easier. Kevin said you travel a lot and that's why you don't want seahorses. Do you have, if you have a significant other, or if you have children, I put mine to work, or if you have a any reef club near you or anything like that, seahorses. Lucy did make a good point that it's a good decision if you're a big traveler, maybe not to do seahorses. But that could be said about any reef tank. I mean, I don't know. I think we make too big of a deal about how difficult they are and all this extra stuff that they need. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch Alex at the same time. I travel all the time. I just train the people that I need to train to take care of them when I'm gone. That's the bottom line. Alright, guys, I missed it. He had his hand in the tank. He was doing something cool, and I missed it. And Rip said, yes, Apex, of course. You can monitor your tanks from your phone, basically. I mean, with seahorses, it's a little bit different because you've got to worry about feeding them so often. But I've got a video about going on vacation with seahorses coming up that will talk about some different methods you can use to make sure that they stay fed while you're gone. Hey, Alex, what was the hand in the tank? I missed it.
Oh, it's just keep making sure a few fish don't get too close to each other when they're eating. We've had some incidents in the past.
Ah, gotcha.
Dog face there, he really likes it to eat, but he's a little shy. You can see the angels will even push him off. So, and that little clown trigger is such a pig. Looks like he's gonna burst at the seams. And he's still eating.
Jeez. Well, I want to say to the questions,
Yeah.
Living Garage and Kevin, if you're in a situation where you're not sure you can take care of your aquariums, hats off. I think it's completely responsible and great that you're deciding to wait and make sure that you can, because that's people jumping into something that they cannot handle or are not willing to handle is hats off. Good thoughts. You are doing the right thing. I'm just saying that goes for any tank. That was my only point. And I know you guys are just teasing. I don't feel good. I'm sick. All right, what were you saying, Alex? I'm sorry.
Talking to me?
Yeah, were you saying something? I'm sorry.
No. Oh, no, no. I was just saying that little trigger is just a pig.
That Ras.
I mean, literally, he is now wider on his behind than he is on his midsection. Worried. I've actually was worried earlier the week he might eat himself to death, but
Oh my gosh.
it's almost impossible to control the food intake of that kind of fish. I mean, they are a garbage can.
Yeah.
But he'll look skinny tomorrow, like he hasn't eaten before.
Feeding the system, right? Through many ways.
Yeah. Well, this week too, they're getting fresh clams or nearly fresh clams, so it's a really good food for the fish. I bought 4 live ones at the grocery store, and they didn't eat all of it yesterday, so they got the other half today. They got one more live one. I think I'll try to keep it for a while and before I go ahead and try to toss it in there. But the fish have been doing good, and these guys get one big meal of frozen a day, so
So they get one big meal that you just showed us. What else do they get? That's it?
they get pellets a couple times a day. That's generally what they're getting.
Gotcha. I mean, they look healthy as heck. This is a mixed channel. And Beth made the comment that seahorses are not fast enough to compete with fish for food. Alex is showing us a reef tank with reef fish. He doesn't have seahorses. This is a seahorse channel. We just mix. We talk reef too. And I personally don't keep reef fish in my seahorse tanks. A lot of people do with success. That's a topic for a different day. But the bottom line is seahorses do need fed differently. So what Kevin and someone else were speaking about and making sure that they can take care of the animals as they should be taken care of is crucial, important, and valid. So good job, you guys. I wasn't trying to talk you into it. I just love my seahorses. And, I can show you how to take care of them, and I can show you how to take care of them well and easily, but doing the right thing by them is always the best bet. And what are we looking at now, Alex? Oh, I see your starfish.
No, I was going to say, I don't have seahorses.
You're right.
I have my, oh yeah. Well, I do have my one dragon face, so that's all I got.
How's he doing?
That's as close to a seahorse as I got.
How is the dragon face doing?
Oh, he's doing great. I did a while ago try to introduce a couple more, and it unfortunately they did not make it.
Oh.
But I think I gotta rethink my acclimation strategy with them, because when I got this guy originally, I bought a pair, and one of them didn't make it past the first day. They went in the tank fine, then started acting real loopy and funny, and that was it. They were just next day gone, and then it's kind of the same thing with these other ones I added. So I'm thinking that I need to change my acclimation strategy if I try again.
Sure. And you don't have to mention names if you don't want to, but Like, are you buying them from a store or?
Well, I do have a local fish store get them for me, but
Okay.
they never like literally when I usually make fish orders lately, I I get them directly in the wholesale bag. They
Okay.
don't even they don't even go into a store tank. It's direct from the wholesaler basically.
Well, then for
I
you,
just I just
I would definitely say, yeah, you're absolutely right. Look at the acclimating procedures. And for anyone else, look for captive bred. Um, look for a breeder. If you get a breeder that's breeding seahorses, pipefish, etc., for the aquarium, you're going to have a much easier time, bottom line. But what were you saying? I'm sorry. Go ahead. And those, oh my
oh I
gosh.
was gonna
Go ahead.
what
Nothing. I love your tank. I love seeing it. Oh my gosh. I miss my brain so much. Go ahead.
man, I know I got a few of them.
Oh, they're so pretty. But were you saying something or did I interrupt you? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I think next time I'm gonna do a much longer acclimation period because usually with most fish I do. It's usually a 45-minute acclimation.
Mm-hmm.
Just what I've always done, where I'm doing like thirds on the bag, and I just think next time if I try to get another pair of pipefish, I think I'm gonna do a drip or something that takes a little bit more time.
Well, and just to be clear, just because I don't want the information to get confusing, Alex is somewhat of a higher up hobbyist who deals directly with wholesalers and such. When someone is buying pipefish or seahorses from a breeder, you need to follow the instructions of the breeder, because in most cases with seahorses and pipefish that have been captive bred and they're coming from a breeder, the instructions are to add them immediately. Only temperature acclimate while the bag is still closed, because of all the pH stuff that happens in the ammonia and ammonium. I've got videos about it if you want to watch it. I had seahorses with ammonia poisoning. But in this case, Alex is talking about something different in a different situation. So I like to say that because anybody tuning in might get a misconception, and the bottom line is we cover everything here. And so sometimes you're looking at someone doing at a different level.
Well, that's an interesting thing because, well, honestly, I don't have a lot of pipefish nor seahorse experience, and
Sure.
that is an interesting method too to just do the instant go in.
Well, but the difference is if you're buying captive bred.
True.
Yeah, I don't want to get all into it, but it depends on how far they've had to travel, if they were captured from the wild, or if they were bred. You should always follow the instructions
There's a
of the
local
seller.
wholesaler here, so.
But is he breeding, or is he bringing them in?
That I don't know. I know sometimes they get captive bred stuff, but generally that's not necessarily something I'm asking.
Sure. There's no
stuff
judgment
like this,
here.
but-
There's just
Oh
My
yeah.
only point
No,
was
a lot of it, I honestly don't know.
follow the guidance of the person you're buying from. They know how they shipped it. They know what it came from. They know what it's capable of. Follow the guidance of the person selling the creature or the fish. That's your best bet, bottom line. But,
Yep.
yeah. Anyhow. Is there anything else that you wanted to show us tonight, Alex?
I think that's pretty much what's been going on in here. I mean, the fish have all been doing pretty good. I've added I added some tangs in here recently, and that's been about the only thing that's going on in here. So
It looks
My
beautiful. I
Flamingy
can
Tang
see
is.
the more fish. Yes.
Looks like someone might have gotten a little fight here.
Uh-oh.
I see a chunk on his head. I see a little gash on him. Yeah, we'll just have to give it some time, see what it does.
Yep. I
You'd
mean,
you'd be surprised. I mean, this little clown trigger, when he was no bigger than a damsel, almost got swallowed by this guy, and I'm pretty sure it dislocated / broke his jaw. And
my
I
gosh.
figured that little clown trigger would die, because literally he was halfway down that puffer's throat.
Oh my gosh.
So you'd be surprised that fish can be pretty resilient in that respect. Like they could take. It took about a month or so, and the jaw finally healed up because he couldn't actually close his jaw.
Oh jeez.
It was like stuck open and kind of shifted to the side, and I was like, well, this might not end well. But
the thing
just never know.
is, yeah, you never know, and there's 5 million ways to do things, and I personally have no judgment for anybody doing anything that's working for them. That's the bottom line. When it comes to seahorses and pipefish, I have my opinions, and I'm going to give the best advice that I can give. But the bottom line is, if it's working for you, it's working for you, and that's it. Cool. And you have an amazing system, and so who am I to say anything? It looks great. And you want to give us any? What I would like you to do really quickly. I'm gonna have to close soon, but I would like. Is there any possible way you can show us the aptasia that you hit now afterwards? Now that we've got the flow back on, see if they're still there, see what's going on with them.
You can kind of see it center screen. There's one that you could see it kind of like hanging there.
Yep.
A piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I hit.
So you don't do anything. You don't go in and get them. You don't suck them out or anything.
Nope.
You just let it go. Okay.
Yeah, just let them sit there. And I mean, if it is gonna do the job, it'll be gone soon enough. And then if it's not, well, it'll be back in a few days.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of funny because as I've been looking around, I always spot a couple more of them, and I start really looking. So, but I'm not gonna go back in and try to get them now.
Well, sure. And as I said, in my particular opinion, the best bet is to use quarantine and do your best to try to make sure that what you add does not have aptasia. It does get in very easily, and when it does, maintaining is one way of doing things, and you're doing a great job. So, I mean, look at your tank. It looks great. And the more water volume you have, the less of a huge deal it is, There's just all these what ifs. It just depends. So, whatever. But I'm so glad to see the tanks are doing so well. And I want an update, please, on how that coral does in lower lighting. I'm curious to see how it does.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see how it does, and then, I think the only thing I'm waiting for right now is I got an ICP test I sent out.
Uh-huh.
I decided that I wanted to see what my water's doing, because I've had a couple of things, like that little tort hasn't been doing the best, and then I had a little bird's nest back there that didn't make it, or mostly hasn't made it, and then I had a couple of stylos that, the purple one's been just jamming, but I had this green one that suddenly part of it kind of died off, and I had another one that just bleached on me. And it's kind of hard to judge what's happening because, I have a lot of things doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't expect with this amount of different species that I'm not going to have some that just for whatever reason aren't going to do well.
Well, sure. In a mixed aquarium, bottom line is the things that that need potassium, certain levels of things aren't going to equal each other. So, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Unfortunately. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Well, and I'm even looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at that, and that's why I sent the ICP out, because I'm interested to know if there's something lacking in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I really don't do much in the way of water changes on this system, or I haven't yet. But I'm curious to see where stuff's at, if there's something that's really missing, or if it's just, it could be chemical warfare too, because I have a handful of soft corals, and
Yep.
Could be that the stonies just can't, those particular stonies just aren't tolerating it for whatever reason, but
Mixed tanks are definitely more difficult. And I think we talked about this before. You don't use Miracle Mud, right?
no, not in this system, no. I've thought about possibly throwing a tray in or something at some point.
Well, when you get your test back, I'd be curious to do some experimenting with you and see how Miracle Mud did, because it adds some of those trace elements that you don't even realize you need or they need, and then all of a sudden everything's better. So I'd be curious, but anyways.
Well, and I'd also think it'd be a great habitat for pods and stuff.
Of course. Multiple.
Not that I have a shortage of them by any means, but
Sure. How's that system?
Oh, it's doing good. The algae's taken over a bit. I don't know how easy it's going to be to see, but generally, if you look at this for a minute, it's all crawling. Oh yeah, I can see a couple of them crawling around.
I can too. That's crazy.
Oh, you should see it at night when the bristleworms come out in here. They come out in force at night.
Crazy.
So.
Okay,
it all, it's good to see all this stuff breeding, and it feeds the tank, so.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad to see that all the systems are doing so well, Alex. All right, you guys, I'm literally like...
Thanks.
The fever's taking over. I'm feeling flush, so I apologize, but I'm gonna cheers the Wine Wednesday over. And Alex, you keep us updated on what's going on. I will make sure to put links in the description to his channel, and we will come back and see how his coral is doing and how the Aptasia, whether it worked or not, the Aptasia X. And we'll be back next week, less sick and more tentative, guys. Okay? Sound good? And I appreciate all of you for coming.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Alex, always for joining. And everybody will have another good Wine Wednesday next week when we all feel better. Okay. All right. So, cheers, guys. Happy Wine Wednesday. See you next week. Bye.